Hi friends, Andrew Carruthers from The Journeyist. Welcome to episode 9 of The Journey of Sunday. This week we're going to start a conversation that I think will take us a few sessions to kind of dig through the details, and it's the discussion of the words love and compassion, especially how they relate to spirituality. These two words are definitely terms that I think come up the most frequently and the most consistently, no matter what religion or belief system I'm looking at. This week I'd like to focus on the distinction between those two terms and also why these things are so incredibly essential to us with our experience that we're facing right now. Love is actually a really pretty complicated term, isn't it? It can mean so many different things to so many different people. For me, I had a really cool realization as I was talking to my wife, Michelle, about this morning, that for me, usually it fits into two categories. There's kind of a spiritual love, and then there's more of a love that we experience between humans. For me, what I experience when I'm most connected to my spirituality, I can only call that love, but I don't even know that that's the accurate term for it. It's just the right word that I have, because it's something that's very pure. It's something that is not human, it's not felt, it's not as much sensory. Whereas when I use the term love in relationship to my feelings for my wife, my family, my friends, that is definitely something that's more sensory. It's something that emotionally I can really feel. And a term that gets used almost in a very similar way, but I do think has a very distinct difference to it, is compassion. And I really like the way that the Buddha explained compassion. Compassion is just simply that acceptance and understanding that everyone on this planet is having the same experience. And that same experience is the pursuit of just happiness and peace and the escape of suffering. Now, each person goes through that very, very differently, but at the core of our existence is that pursuit of happiness, peacefulness, and the escape of suffering. Now the question is, why do I think it's so important to make a distinction between those two words? The answer is that I think that often we're told that we should love everyone. To me, that's always been a little bit hard to accept because as a human, I just don't do that. I kind of think about maybe at a very, very enlightened level, you do experience pure love for every other human on the planet. But for most of us, I think that might be lofty expectations. What I do think is very possible is for us to strive to have compassion for every other human on the planet. And Michelle actually reminded me of this thing this morning that Brené Brown always talks about. She's like, what if everyone is actually doing the best that they can? And I think that that has a very similar mindset to it. Because if I look at the person sitting next to me, even if they annoy the crap out of me, I can still know that on their most basic level, because of their experiences, because of what they've been taught in life, they're doing the best that they can. And what that means, the best that they're trying to do is just trying to escape suffering, just trying to find some sense of happiness. And I'd like to invite you to consider that pretty deeply, because think about the change in how you look at other people if you come from that sense of compassion. If you come from a belief that even if they're not doing it the way I think they should, even if they're doing it in a way I don't agree with, they're still doing the best that they can. I do think it's worth maybe making the distinction too, that doesn't give approval to their actions. It just changes how we perceive them. I guess to put a bow around the purpose of this weekend's talk, it's that my personal journey, my personal spiritual journey has shifted a little bit. I don't know that I'm in a place at this point in my journey to pursue pure love for every person on the earth. I do think it's within my personal journey to pursue pure compassion for each person on this earth. And especially now, I think this is so key because the world around us is just in self-protection mode. We're in emergency mode. So of course, there's going to be lots of things that happen within this month, within these next couple months, that you're not going to appreciate about someone else. you're not going to agree with. But if we return back to that principle of they're just trying to do the same thing we are, which is to escape suffering, I think we can turn to them with a different type of response and with a different heart. Okay, now it's your turn. Let me know what you're thinking, what your opinions are on that sense of love, that sense of compassion. And next week, let's dive a little bit deeper into the subject of love and how that interacts with that connection of spirituality. I'd love to continue to grow this community, so if you know people that would love to be a part of this conversation, please tag them or share the video. And I'll see you guys next week on another Journey of Sunday.